Darren's fight.
Yep.
Then you have El Chapo and Sean Penn.
Hilarious.
Then you're going to be talking about breastfeeding in public. It's a major issue right now.
And clearly we're the two to tackle it.
I know, that's why it's funny.
Yep.
The second or third one would be if you win the Powerball.
Yes, that's a must.
Fourth one is the elephants that are retiring from the circus.
They're retiring from the circus. We're live.
Uh-oh.
Keep going, DeCarlo.
Hey, are there more?
Yeah.
Yeah, our program manager is now in charge of our topics.
But she didn't put anything about the Nick Diaz trial.
Oh, yeah, we'll get closer to that microphone, Burgos.
She didn't do anything about the Nick Diaz trial. I'm going to move the microphone to me.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think it's a better idea.
I forgot the other ones.
I am wearing this mask because I interviewed El Chapo, and he was shortly captured thereafter. So I don't want to be seen.
Also about Yoel Romero possibly testing positive for roids.
Yep, good
That's
night.
another good one.
Good night, program manager.
Good night, Moon. Good
Yeah,
night,
that was such
Cup.
a good book. All right, can I take this off now?
I don't know why you had it on in the first place, so yes.
I wanted to look like a cowboy.
Well, you do. I mean, like the Brokeback Mountain kind, but
Oh, okay.
yeah.
The anally gaping kind of cowboy.
Yes. That'd be the kind.
So welcome back and happy birthday
Thank
to
you.
Miguel.
I'm 45 years young.
Yep. You wear it really well.
Thank you. I thought so too.
You must stay out of the sun.
I've never even seen it.
Oh,
It's
okay.
I'm like a mole person.
You're like a gimp. You've been locked in a box all these years.
And when I'm not, I am in a full leather suit. Mask and all.
Mask and all. All right.
Yep.
So we got this. Have you heard anything about this El Chapo Sean Penn interview?
I have.
video?
I just finally heard about it the other day, and now I'm 100% sure my headset. I don't think, is it hooked up? Is it hooked up? Is it hooked up?
Yeah, say something.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
There
It
we
wasn't
go.
very high.
Oh, we'll put it up all the way.
No, it's more than high enough.
Okay, well, let me take it down a few notches.
All right.
ya.
No worries. Perfect.
Good.
All right. See, I was feeling weird. I felt like I had to yell into this to hear anything. Yes, I heard about it just the other day. Sean Penn does an interview because I heard about it because I think it was The Daily Show did something where they looked at his article, and his article was super weird. Like he went on and on about farting, how he farted in front of him, and how cool they were with it.
Well, his attorney just released a thing saying that 90% of what he said was complete bullshit. I don't know. Sean Penn has been known to be a little fucking wacky-doo.
Oh, very much so. Also, he was super complimentary to the, drug ping, which I'm sure responsible for many, many deaths. He's like, oh, man, they were so nice while I was there. It was this loving, wonderful home. I don't know why he gets such a bad rap.
Yeah, why would he stage it and make me feel all nice and at home, when doing a news article?
With Sean, you know what's odd? You're famous. Even El Chapo knows who you are. I mean, everyone knows who you are. You're famous to everybody.
Well, there's a lot of I don't want to say, I guess you would say, El Chapo supporters.
Oh, well, of course, he's kind of the rebel, raging against, I don't know, the fractured and fallen apart Mexican government that is largely being destroyed by his cartel.
And many, many other cartels and corrupt officials, and the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah. There's nothing good going on there.
No, not a damn good thing. It's just weird. Back when there was that issue with Trump and El Chapo, and they were going head to head, there were a lot of people who stuck up for El Chapo.
There's always gonna be someone sticking up for
But there
the
was
bad guy.
a lot of people.
Those
People all forgot that this guy is a fucking murderer.
Yeah, well, that's the way it always is. Whether people are supporting Dillinger or Billy the Kid or whoever the fuck it is.
Right.
They forget the fact that, okay, it's kind of cool, they're out there, they're against the system, against the man or whatever, they're outlaws, but they're also scumbags. They're like the worst people there are. I mean,
People who wouldn't think
rapists and
twice about
murderers.
killing you.
Yeah. Who would shoot you and then probably rape whoever you're with, just for the fun of it. Because they're horrible people.
Very horrible people. Did you see this Sicario movie yet?
No.
Damn you, Bergowski. Damn you.
I'll watch it this week, I promise.
Oh, dude. I want to say so many things about it right
I got
now.
2 free tickets to the movies. We should go see Hateful Eight this week.
Okay.
All right.
I got free tickets, too.
Oh, okay. Good.
Christmas. These Christmas things
Yeah, I got
come
mine
in
from my
handy.
dentist. Because
Oh,
I
did
went
you?
to the dentist on my birthday.
And you get, you
You
go,
get
on
free
your
tickets.
birthday, you get free shit.
Well, it may just be because I knew the girl that worked at the front desk was a friend of mine.
Oh, okay.
So maybe she kind of hooked me up with that. I'm not exactly
Got
sure.
you hooked you up with some tickets,
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
handy dandy. I get you.
Yeah,
It's one of those dentist
it
office.
happens.
They put the gas on, crazy shit goes down.
You wake up with stuff in your butt. I mean, it was there beforehand, but they didn't remove it.
What was that Robert Schimmel joke? All right, you're going to feel a little prick in your mouth. You better turn the gas all the way up if you want that shit to happen. I either want to love it or not remember it.
God damn it, I love Schimmel.
I
wish
know.
he was,
God.
not dead.
God rest his soul. He was one of the great ones. That's
Yeah.
such a strange story too. He had cancer. He beat cancer, and then he ended up getting in a car accident, and that's how he died, wasn't it? He got in a car
I don't
accident.
remember.
I want to say it was he was driving with his daughter. They got into a car accident, and he died.
Is she okay?
I don't know.
Oh.
You may want to double check that
I'm
because
gonna look that up right now.
But yeah,
You keep talking.
he had an amazing, and he wasn't I guess like he was mainstream, I guess, but it was back in a day where comedy wasn't as prevalent as it is now. Now,
Yeah.
man, you see stand up all over the place, and people are very, very well known in stand up.
Oh yeah, like Louis
more
CK.
mainstream. Yeah,
He kind of reminds me of a more vulgar Louis C.K.
Yeah.
He fell somewhere, I think, between like George Carlin and Louis C.K. with like his kind of comedy.
yeah.
And he was pretty famous, but he wasn't like super famous. He was like Greg
Right.
Giraldo famous.
Had he been now, had he come into his fame nowadays, I think he would be a lot.
Oh man,
Lot bigger.
I love the jokes about the daughter's boyfriend.
Yes, yeah. If anybody out there is any fan of comedy, if you're just a small fan of comedy, it is worth checking out Robert Schimmel.
Yeah.
He's got a bunch of stuff on YouTube you can download. He's got or not download, but stream, and he's got a bunch of stuff on iTunes you could download. Definitely one of my favorite comedians.
Oh yeah.
Him, Dave Attell, Anthony Jeselnik. The list goes on and on. Who else is good? Jim Norton's good.
Oh, Jim Norton's very good.
Oh,
Oh, thank you.
thank you.
Sinful Apple.
Sinful.
I assume, but what's spelled Cinn. I assume to connotate that there's cinnamon in it.
Rupert, is there cinnamon in it? Or you just blow dry dog farts in there again? It's always nice when a dog walks in and gives you a beer in a water bottle.
I know.
Very weird. We
Yeah,
got
I think
strange
par
animals here.
For course.
Par for course. I can't remember who I was. We were at.
By the way, I looked it up. Schimmel did die in a car accident.
Uh-huh.
His daughter was driving.
thought
She
that's
got
something to do
injured
with
but
that.
survived. Her son was in the car. He was not injured. I guess the car flipped over.
Jesus Christ.
I know.
Such a shitty way to go. A legend. But yeah. So the Powerball jackpot is going to be announced in, what is it? Yay. 2
hours,
2
hour
hours.
and a half,
I think
something
hour
like
and a half. Yeah,
It's
11 o'clock.
yeah.
Uh,
So
the
it's only an
biggest-
hour and a half until I become a billionaire.
Did you
Hey.
buy a ticket?
I had bought 5 tickets.
Well, good for you. I
So
have not bought
clearly,
a single
I
fucking
can't
thing.
lose at this point. I mean, with 5 times the chances to win, I mean, it would be amazing if I didn't.
I read an article. There was I can't remember what state it was in, but people chipped in to buy 70,000 Powerball tickets.
Good God.
Even at
That's
70,000,
$140,000.
yes. And the funniest, well, not funny, I guess, but even with those odds,
No, it's
you
still
still
funny.
have a very shitty chance.
Oh, yeah.
I read you have an 8 times greater chance of being killed on the way to buy your Powerball ticket in a car accident than you actually do of winning the Powerball. So
That sounds about accurate. And this is going to be an absurdly hard one to win because this is not a normal Powerball.
No.
Everyone's throwing down. Like me, I don't think I've bought a lottery ticket since I was 18 years old, and I was allowed to buy my first lottery ticket. Since then, I don't think I've bought a single one.
I have never bought a lottery ticket, and ever. I just... I'm
not going to lie. I've already assumed I won, and I've been spending money like crazy.
Now, what would happen if you did win this Powerball?
It was shockingly little. I have almost nothing to do. I mean, I don't know. I'd finally buy that computer I wanted.
$1 billion.
Ooh, I get that Lexus.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. There we
Treat himself to a Lexus. Would you go hog wild? Would you go crazy buying a big house, or would you kind of play more low key?
I don't want a big house. I would prefer not to have a big house. I'd want maybe expensive stuff, like smaller expensive stuff, but in cool areas.
Gotcha, like a compact, cool house.
Yeah, or like an apartment or a condo, but like in a real kind of hip part of New York.
I would think like a loft. You would be good in a loft.
I think so too. It won't have to be anything like insane, no $20 million palace or some bullshit. I'm talking like a 2-room kind of thing.
No solid gold car.
But I'd want like some nice kind of architectural choices within the place. Like I'd want it to look nice. I'd want people to walk in there, like not be impressed by, oh my God, this place is huge, but be like, man, this place is cool as shit.
You want to spend money on the unique factor.
Yes, exactly.
I can respect that.
And I would get a few of those places so that I could just kind of travel between them and always have a place to go. And then when I wasn't using it, my friends could stay there for free.
You could keep a variety of sex workers there.
Yes, I would obviously move to the Philippines and start up some sort of sex, I don't know, a compound.
You'd be rich enough to form a compound. You could.
I might be rich enough right now to form a compound in the Philippines. I mean, I don't think it costs that much.
I don't think so. I think you just got to get some government land, some wood, I think is important.
Yeah. I'd pay some people $10-$20 plus, the supplies in order to, build a compound because I assume they work that cheap. I literally know nothing to base this off of. I'm probably being super racist about this, but it's all right. It's all right.
Very condescending.
Maybe. I don't know. Are there any Filipino sex workers or construction workers out there?
Yeah, I think Nidden.
He's Indian.
Sorry, Nidden.
Could you mean Vince, the Filipino?
Yeah. I forgot about Vince, but yeah, we'll use Vince as an example.
Well, if we're talking about the Philippines, it would make sense. We were talking about the
Deal.
Philippines, right? Or did I change countries midway through?
No, you said Philippines and Philippine sex workers. However, I think you may have a better chance in Vietnam or Thailand.
Ooh, I don't know any Thai people. I'll have to make a friend.
Yeah. And you know what? With $1 billion, you could make a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Not any real good friends, but
no.
Hangers on.
Yes, and I'm fine with that.
A posse of sorts.
Assuming they're bringing something to the equation.
Do you, does it kind of like fuck with you? Like, what do you think about like a lot of like a Floyd Mayweather or like a Mike Tyson? Like, they had to have like these grand posses that kind of followed them around everywhere.
I would not have that.
Is it kind of like, I don't know.
Sad?
It seems kind of stupid to me.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. If I'm going somewhere to do something, like if I'm going down to Florida to have some fun, I'll bring all my friends. I don't give a shit. Like, if I had that kind of money, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd bring them with me. But, I mean, he literally brings them and he pays them to cheer him on. I mean, could you imagine, like, at that point, are they really even your friends or are they just your employees? I mean,
they're hired friends.
Yeah. I mean, you're wrong. If I'm bringing people along, they're probably going to be saying some halfway decent things about me. But I want to be like, hey, here you go. I want you to go around and tell everyone how awesome I am. Here's $1,000.
Well, that's because there's a problem with their ego. Now, if they had a balanced ego, they would hire an equal number of people to talk shit about them. Just you want to keep it in balance. So I got this guy on my right that builds me up.
Maybe the best fighter ever. He's no Muhammad Ali or whatever, but I guess he's all right.
Exactly. You got to have it to where it kind of balances everything.
In all honesty, though, Mayweather's way better than Muhammad Ali ever was.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think people have gotten into this, like, they like immortalize these people and they forget about their actual skill level. Like, the biggest?
He had a lot of very even fights against very, like, good but not like names no one would ever remember because
Right.
I guess I don't remember their names, but I remember I've seen like little documentaries and stuff, and articles written about him where it's like he was good, he was like very good, but was he that good? And a lot of his big wins were steeped in massive amounts of controversy.
Massive amounts of
Yeah,
controversy.
I mean, literally his wins are where a lot of the bad stuff people talk about when it comes to the illegitimacy of boxing and how corrupt it is came from Muhammad Ali's fights. I mean, people being poisoned before fights or drugged during fights even. You know, with putting in their nasal spray and whatever.
Yeah,
Those are
there was a
Muhammad
lot
Ali
of
things.
hokey shit that was going on in some of those
Well, I mean,
fights.
mostly, I guess, technically, I think there were... Was that Don King that did him?
No, that was Tyson, was Don
Okay.
King.
Tyson was also super... I mean, Don King was obviously...
Yeah,
Well,
there's
he's
been a
big
lot of
one on screwing
documentaries.
over boxers and also kind of turning boxing into a little bit too much of a...
Don King, like, killed some fucking people, too.
Probably.
He got
yeah,
away
he was a
with
thug.
it.
No one's arguing that point.
But, yeah, fucking boxing is weird. And another one that is weird that gets immortalized a lot, and you may not agree with me on this one, but overrated, I'm going to say it, Bruce Lee.
Oh, very much so. I mean, the guy was good for what he was. I mean, he's probably the best fighter to ever be an actor.
Yeah.
I mean, he created a martial arts style. I mean, he deserves all the fame he got, but do I think he would survive in the UFC? No, not at any weight class.
I don't think
he'd
so
get
either.
destroyed. I think he'd get destroyed by mid-level guys. But I would like to think someone like Bruce Lee
Would
with him-
adapt
Yes,
in today's
he would
current.
be able to. If we just took him like it's easy to say like right now, Bruce Lee before he died and throw him into a ring now with everyone. No, but I'd like to think if Bruce Lee was kind of coming up, he would learn to adapt his skills and become something impressive based on what he was able to do when there was like nothing going on. There's no real fighting. It was, I mean, martial arts was mostly just used for movies or like, just a hokey thing for rich people to watch.
Right.
And he managed to really create something special in that time. So I do believe he would be able to, like, if he was coming up in this time, he would definitely be able to, I think, adapt his skills and become something good. But, like, just with what he was, I mean, he was a straight martial artist. That's really cool, for what he did.
Well, he definitely was one of the first who started like blending styles. He
Yeah.
did like let's do ground stuff along with striking stuff.
And he had some really unique ideas in the fact that he didn't consider his martial arts to be an art or a style. It was a philosophy.
Yes.
Because he felt that when you create a style, you constrained yourself.
And boy, did all those people jump on the style bandwagon
Oh
after
my
he died.
Yep.
We teach Jeet Kune Do, Bruce Lee's martial
Yeah,
art.
here's exactly how you do it. When his whole thing was supposed to be, there is no exact way to do anything. Everything should be evolving all the time.
Yeah.
He believed that nothing was supposed to be stagnant. You couldn't just create something and then leave it there like it was a work of art, like a painting. Martial arts was meant to be a dynamic style,
Yeah.
always evolving, always progressing. I guess I think he had like biting and stuff in his martial arts.
Yeah, he had biting,
weird-
he had groin slaps,
Yeah,
he
I
had
mean,
all sorts of things like that.
he
could add in.
adapted it to legitimate kind of street fighting in a lot of ways. Let me. I doubt anyone taught that stuff when they were teaching Jeet Kune Do.
No.
Guarantee you.
Well, he
that.
came from Wing Chun, right? Or
Yes.
what-
Yeah, it was Wing
Jun
Chun.
Fan. Yeah, and then
It was
he
Wing Chun.
changed it to Jun Fan Kung Fu. And then I just remember there was a documentary, and then Chuck Norris had a couple interviews.
Drag into Bruce Lee story.
Yeah.
The most historically accurate movie ever made.
Right, where he fights a demon many times.
Yes, and eventually gets his back broken in a sort of kumite situation.
Yep, strange kumite. Which, that movie really did stretch the bounds of truth. There's some underground
I think
fight
pretty much
in a temple.
I really, other than a few key points of his life, I'm pretty sure every aspect of that movie was horribly inaccurate.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It was like it had the names right. Probably for the most part, it had the names right.
Well, especially the fact that, did they not think that any fact checking would happen during that movie? Like, clearly he
I
did
don't
not
think they
get his
cared.
back broken in an underground kumite. It was very commonly known. It was a training injury that it
That
occurred.
happened during a movie?
I don't remember if it happened during a movie. From what I have read, it happened doing really heavy good morning lifts. with a
Okay.
bar on the back, and then
Yeah.
like kind of like a standing deadlift of sorts with the weight on your shoulder instead of the ground. So that's what I had always read was the issue. And then, Chuck Norris, who worked with him on some movies.
Bruce Lee's
and
punching bag.
Well, it was the other way around. Chuck Norris had always said in, many interviews, and even when Bruce was alive, that, people would, reporters would say, oh, yeah, Bruce Lee, and you guys ever spar? You guys ever go? And Chuck Norris' response would be, well, guys, Bruce is an actor. I'm a multiple world champion kickboxer.
Wait, was he?
Yeah, we
God, I
never,
really don't know much
we
about
never went there. Like Bruce kind of knew that I would kick his ass. Like, and it was always kind of known that Chuck Norris is a fighter and Bruce Lee is an actor, and they always kind of kept these respectful bounds.
That just shows how little I know about Chuck Norris.
Yeah, Chuck Norris was a bad motherfucker. Chuck Norris had won multiple world titles, was a kickboxer, obviously a karate practitioner, and now he's even a black belt under, I want to say it's the Machado brothers jiu-jitsu, which...
Yeah. Which, honestly, I think Bruce Lee was still alive. He would have gotten heavy into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Well, he was.
was
a lot
he?
of that stuff.
Okay.
And, especially, back then, it was more judo. Because judo, very similar to jiu-jitsu.
In a lot
There's
of
a whole
respects,
ground
yes.
component that's that a lot of people don't, who are just casual watchers of
Yeah,
judo,
so it's
maybe
like
they don't really
the
know.
flips or they Austin Powers judo chop,
Exactly.
which I'm not even sure that's a thing.
No, but it could be. I don't
All
know.
right.
I spent a lot of time on the MSU judo team, and we did not do any judo chops. So that was
You try to
not
knock
to
anyone
say
out?
it wasn't there. But there was, and he's one of those guys that there's just a ton of conspiracy around his death. Do you believe any of that conspiracy? There was some
No.
strange terms. He did die from it was some sort of an aneurysm or some sort of something in his brain.
I've had 2 people in my family die from some sort of brain aneurysm things. It's not that, it's not common, but it's not like that uncommon either.
Well, I want to
Is it just
misspeak
that
because I
he's
don't know if it's
famous?
I don't know if it was an aneurysm, but it was something.
Hemorrhage, maybe? Oh, I can look up.
Yeah, go ahead and look it up real quick. But there's a lot of conspiracy theory around his death. One that he was killed by the Chinese mafia
naturally.
for spreading kung fu to non-Asian people, to us round eye folk.
I believe that was also a big component of Dragon, the Bruce Lee story.
Yes, yeah, they definitely want. Yeah, that's how he is in that underground kumite in that movie, is because he has to defend his right to teach the white people kung fu. So of course the only way to settle this is in an underground match with a sushi chef or whatever the guy was. So
He had cerebral edema.
cerebral edema, so some sort of a bleeding in
Well,
the
it's a swelling.
a
of
swelling
the,
in the brain.
yeah.
So yeah, but there's a lot of things, like there was a death touch, and I remember talking with your dad was convinced that he was some sort of
My
a death
dad's big
touch.
into conspiracy theories.
I love
and all
him.
that. Yeah.
I love conspiracy. I don't believe a conspiracy
Yeah. Oh,
theory,
yeah.
but I love a conspiracy.
I'm with you
theory.
on that 100%. I don't believe any of them, but I would love to. I love watching movies made about them.
Oh,
you know,
for
just
sure.
absurd things are not even remotely true, and it's like, damn.
Like the Kennedy assassination. That's a good one. The mob. And that one had some points of legitimacy. I mean, the Kennedys were actively trying to destroy the mob. That was a big staple.
And I mean, he was murdered by an unknown person, so that one deserves a lot of conspiracies because clearly there had to be one.
Yeah.
What was the guy? Was it Hinkle? No, wait. No, or was Hinkle the guy that killed Kennedy? Who killed Kennedy again? Or Oswald? Oswald. There we go.
Oswald killed
Oswald
Kennedy.
Cobblepot, the Penguin.
And he was kind of
Lee
like
Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald, and he was kind of like an invalid. A lot of people said he was not very smart. He was kind of a kooky guy. Doesn't mean that he couldn't have. A kooky guy can very easily kill somebody. A lot of people say you couldn't take the shot from where he was, and there's a moving target. And there may have been 2 shots on the grassy knoll, and there's a lot of fucking weird shit that goes into it.
Oh yeah. Who knows? That I consider to be an actual possibility because apparently that was just supposed to be an absurd shot. But you know what? Sometimes maybe he was just taking a shot and he got lucky.
Right? He's
I
like,
mean,
he's like, this
sometimes
shit
it
ain't gonna work. Oh my god!
I mean, just because you can only do it one time out of 10, you only need to do it
You
that
only
one
need to
time.
do it one time, absolutely.
That's what things. You only need to get it right once.
So it was brought to my attention by DeCarlo that now elephants are being banned in the circus. There's no more.
Okay.
Taking
I
them
got
away.
no problem for that because, I've heard the conditions they live in are supposed to be very torturous, especially the training, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of animal rights people are heavily against it, and I believe that really hurt the attendance at a lot of their shows over the years. So, if they're getting rid of them, I mean, let's face it, carnivals has been doing this forever. So it's not because they're good people and like,
Right.
oh, I want to protect the elephant. No. It's because something's hurting the bottom line. They're not making the money they want to, and they believe if they get rid of that, they can bring back in the, people that hate them due to the animal rights violations. I'm not sure it's going to help, but,
Are you a circus fan?
never been to a circus.
I've been to a few circus.
Never
and
been to one.
I don't know that. I was never wowed by like an elephant performing in the circus. It never really stood out to me. Maybe it's just the time we live in now where, that shit's not going to catch our attention. But back in the day, man, like if you made an elephant do stuff, it was like it wanted to show man's mastery over the wild beasts of the world. And now that, we're not down with that. We want to bring the wild beasts of the world up, and we want them to be more equal. As we were talking about in the last podcast, everybody likes to personify an animal, whether it's an elephant or whether it's a dog, whether it's what's that fucking lion that got shot and everybody was running around like crazy.
Yeah, Larry the Lion or whatever. But I mean,
Larry.
whatever it is. I mean, I don't care, but I understand when people got upset. He's part of a documentary. People kind of grew to like that particular lion, or he was part of something. That's why people kind of knew who he was.
The
And
villagers
got-
had like a name for him.
and he
like
gets
said.
killed by some random-ass dentist. I mean, there are not a lot of lions left in the world.
No,
and some
there's not.
asshole dentist gets to go over there and kill one of the few that are left. And one of the male ones, because generally there's one man and a bunch of women. So men are the ones that are lacking in the animal world. And those are the ones you really need to continue the propagation of the species. Because, you need a certain level of genetic diversity, or else the species is just going to collapse in on itself, kind of like what's going to eventually happen to the cheetahs. Because they are horribly inbred. They're eventually just going to die out.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point, but the other point that I heard is a lot of these game preserves where they have these lions, a lot of people say the only reason that they're not extinct already is because of these preserves and because people are allowed to hunt and kill them.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. They're probably alive because of the preserves, because in order to allow people to come in there and kill them, they have to keep them alive until that point, and they're not killed by poachers. That's the only thing keeping them alive, I guess. Normal preserves that don't allow you to kill them also keep them alive. But here's the other thing, though. In those ones, nobody kills them. They preserve them.
Well, it was a good. I'm trying to think of the documentary, but the guy makes a pretty compelling case, and he's saying that
killing off the last of a species. No.
He's saying this guy is from Africa in this documentary. I'm
Okay.
trying to remember the name of it, and he's telling people that the only reason that they exist in Africa, since again, like Mexico, there's a lot of corruption. There's a lot.
Yep.
The only reason that they exist is because they are worth money, and that if they were not worth money, they would already be dead.
Now, if they were not worth money, nobody would be killing them all the time. It's not like they're dying because all their environment's going away.
Right.
I mean, their environment is the ass end of Africa. Nobody wants it. They're dying because they're being hunted for money. They're dying because you can kill them and sell their
Certainly
pelts
with
and their
the,
teeth and everything else. For their bones can be ground up into like dick pills for Chinese businessmen.
That is actually very big business.
Yes,
Rhino.
It
dick.
is. It is huge business, And the fact that they're worth money is the only reason they're being killed. But yes, the fact that you can go out there and shoot them is the only reason they're currently being kept alive, because once again, someone else can make money off of them legally.
Right.
As opposed to having to do it all through the black market. So, yeah, they're just a commodity like a box or a paper clip or this bottle of beer to them. And that's the only reason they're being kept around.
How do you stop that, Mr. Burgowski?
There is no conceivable way. You can't stop all the poachers. There's too much land. You can't cover that much land. There's not enough money, not enough people. I mean, someone would have to make
Making penalties and things like that won't do anything.
This is Africa. I mean, there are child soldiers. Everyone's dying of Ebola.
AIDS is very
fucking
big.
What's the one that starts with an M? You get from mosquitoes.
Malaria.
Malaria. Yeah, I mean, people are dying from the dumbest things over there. No one has any money. No one has anything. Telling them, oh, hey, you might go to jail if you do this, or you might be able to feed your village for the next month if you do this other thing. I mean,
I fed an entire village when I fell victim to that Nigerian money scheme. I had a prince cousin over there, as it turns out.
Man, I always knew you were from royal blood.
And I sent...
I can see the blackness.
God knows of how much of DeCarlo's money over there. I don't even...
It's... Oh, God, the poaching thing over there, it's just... There's no reasonable way to take care of it. I mean, unless you could shut down the entire industry, which you can't, because you could do your best to shut it down here in America, which they've done a pretty good job of. I mean, it's super illegal if you get caught with any of that stuff, but they still have it around.
Right. You got to stifle the
other
demand.
Countries.
That's how you...
India, it's China, it's the Philippines, Japan. Actually, I think Japan has some pretty good rules about that too. But especially India, China, places like that. I mean, there are no real... If there are any laws against it, I assume they're relatively minimal, because there's huge amounts of that shit that goes on over there.
You ever see that documentary, The Cove?
I did not want to watch that.
Yeah.
It's like something you watch if you want to be sick. It's like something my sister watches so she has a reason to cry at night, She does. She
Very interesting look at the Japanese fishing industry.
I assume it was not one that painted them in a good light.
No, not if you consider the slaughtering of dolphins in a cove a good light. But a guy came out and he made a pretty good, but you never hear any follow-up to that. Like whatever happened to these fucking guys?
Nothing happened to them.
But they at least get the cove out of the, they at least free up the fucking cove.
Probably not.
Man, that'd be fucked up if that shit's still going on right now after all that.
To say about that making of a murderer. I mean, they make a really good case showing that this guy is just being railroaded by everyone. No one done anything about it. I mean, people bitch. They've done some signs of petitions. In reality, they forget about him in a month.
That's true. That's the sad truth.
Yeah.
Time does go on, and you forget.
Everyone's talking about that stuff right now because, it's hot at the moment. But then, someone's going to get shot by a cop for doing nothing, and then all of our attention will be on that.
Yeah.
Or something equally awful. It's just one of those things that people got really upset about that whole Cove thing for a week over here.
I was 3 days. Yeah. 3 days I was steaming, and then I forgot about the Cove until we just started talking about it on this exact show.
Yep. This show right here, right now, in this location, at this point in time.
Mr. Burgowski, are you offended when women feed their babies by their teat in public?
No, but
does this gross you out?
Very aroused.
Now it arouses you.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm kidding. I've never actually seen a woman breastfeeding in public, to be honest.
I think I've seen 2 in my whole life.
I mean, it's not like it's some giant epidemic to where it's happening all over the place. Okay, first of all, I think that if someone is in good taste, they'll bottle it before they leave. But, sometimes you just don't have that. You forget the bottles, whatever. Kid needs to eat. I mean, they're not... generally, because I know, actually, now that I think about it, my sister's done it a few times in public with her kid, but she had, a special, kind of bib thing she put on. It went over her and the kid. It was a little blanket. And if you didn't know she was doing it, you wouldn't know she was doing it. Because she was wearing, a freaking blanket.
Yeah, I've got a theory on this issue. And it may not be a popular one, but my thoughts are... I think a lot of the people that are openly breastfeeding, and I know I'm going to get some bullshit now, they kind of want to stir up a little bit of the pot when they're openly doing it with the nipple and the boob hanging out. And like your sister is concealing it.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah, she has a lot of shame going on. It's good.
However, and I'm not saying right or wrong. I don't give a fuck where you breastfeed. It
Yeah.
doesn't fucking matter to me at all. But I find that the people who do it out in the open are kind of wanting to stir them.
Yeah,
They
they
want
want the
someone to
attention.
say something. They want the shop owner to say, you can't do that in here, just so you can cause a fucking stink about it.
Yeah.
That's my theory.
They're kind of looking for a fight.
They want to fight. Like a lot of women in this world want to fight.
I guess originally I was going to shoot your point down. It's going to be like, well, some do, but I assume it's a minority, a vast minority. But when you said, the ones that just kind of just plop it out right there
Yeah,
and just
I'm
start
not
going
talking
at it.
about just the run of the mill,
Because a
I'm
lot of
kinda
people
trying
have
to be
some
discreet.
level of coverage.
Yeah, I maybe
They'll
I
do
put
it underneath the shirt, or
Absolutely.
they'll do what they can to, if they don't have that thing on them, they do what they can to get some
Yeah, I'm
level of
talking
coverage.
about the chick that takes it out, makes a point to show everybody what's going on.
Yeah.
Again, that doesn't
yeah.
bother me. I don't give a fuck if you get up, strip naked, put your, sit bare ass on the booth next to me and stick your tit in a kid's mouth. I don't care. But I'm also knowing that you're probably trying to get some people riled up by doing it.
Yeah. It seems likely.
What would you do if you were a woman?
What do you mean?
If you were a woman and you had ample breasts, would you be a
Playing with them all the time? Yes.
Would you be a discreet bastard, or would you be out there and proud? And
Very discreet. Are you kidding me?
I gotta
Absurdly
say,
so.
I'd probably let my tits show. I'm a little bit of a sick fuck. So,
It's true. I've heard about stuff you've done.
so I would probably be out there.
I've seen things you've whipped down in front of other people before.
Yeah, it's been a time.
More times than I care to count.
But that really wasn't in public.
No, but there were definitely people there.
There were people, but not in public.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
wouldn't
You're
say
right.
I wasn't on like the street pressing it up against a bus window or anything.
I don't know why there's reminded me of a episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The one where they're going to see Thunder, whatever.
Thunderdome.
No. It's like it's like
Yeah, I know it. Oh.
yeah. It's like
That's gonna fucking bug me now. Not
dude
Thunderstrike.
hangs dong. And then like Max says, yeah, did you guys see I was hanging dong in the trolley? It's like, oh yeah, I noticed. I was just trying not to say anything.
Thundergun.
Thundergun. Yeah,
I knew it
Thundergun.
would come to me.
And D's like, oh yeah, looks like a butt in a fur coat. I don't know. I would never think about hanging dong. That's what I think about.
Well, if it's cold out, that certainly could be the case.
Very much so. Be like a dog slide back up into your body. Cold enough.
Yeah, you know what? This happened one time in Panama City. You remember the big pool, the gigantic pool? Okay. Well, there's a pool at a resort in Panama City that Mike and I happened to frequent in the past. Mm-hmm. And this pool was ice fucking cold. You could go in July, where it's 90 degrees every day, and this pool is still going to be ice fucking cold. It's one of those huge lagoon pools. Well, I jumped in. We were on a spring break one time. I jumped into this pool. It was so fucking cold. This was before I had heard the phrase balls in your stomach cold. And I swear to you, the second that I hit the water, my balls did a 50-yard dash straight up my stomach and literally went like above where I thought they would even be able to go up.
So pretty much just flat when you went down there.
Dude,
for the ball area.
I was coin person the entire time. It was just a fleshy patch of fucking nothing down there. And I can remember feeling them up there, and I was like literally forcing them down with my hands. And as I'm forcing them down, the second I let go, they're running back up. up. They're
Get
running
out
up
the water.
like a dog that doesn't want to go take a bath. Like just fighting the son of a bitch every step of the way. So finally, after I caught my breath, then everything started to go back to normal.
He peed
But
himself.
Swear to God, I honestly thought they weren't coming back down. It had never happened to me before. I had never heard the phrase before, and I thought this was in a major emergency that just happened.
It makes sense.
But yeah, that's my balls in the stomach story. And
All right.
so it can happen. It's not just
It can happen to you.
It's not just a myth or a legend. It is very, very possible. So if you're ever at a lagoon pool in Panama City, Florida, think
Just
twice
jump on in.
before jumping.
It's all good. Nothing bad can happen.
So we got a little UFC coming up this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We have Darren Cruikshank fighting, who's been on the show before.
Great fighter.
And he is fighting Paul Felder.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. You
You want to call him Feldman?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get
me
this
too.
Feldman thing every single time.
No, me too. I keep wanting to call him Felderman.
A blending of the two. Blending of Paul Felder and Corey Feldman. In the hit box office smash this year, Vampire Fights. It's kind of an MMA spoof. Not really. It's like an MMA meets, kids in high school that are vampires with gelled hair also compete in MMA.
So kind of like a Twilight Lost Boys thing.
Very Twilight, very Lost Boys, 100% teeny bopper.
Oh, yeah.
The girls will be getting wet in the theaters this time, not even waiting till they get home.
No. They'll be stuck to the seats.
Yeah, it's going to be really bad. You
It's gonna
leave
be
that
disgusting.
movie, it's going to smell
You
like...
are going to have to mop that place.
Exactly.
It's going to feel like a fish market.
I know. You're going to think they're selling tuna fish at the concession stands. I like
There's
how
only
it
going to
goes
be in
winter
one
tuna
theater,
fish.
and that theater's going to be burnt down when they're done.
Oh, that is something. Anyways, Cruikshank and Felder, good luck on your fight coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Felder is great on his feet, just like Cruikshank. At least it should be an all stand-up war, though.
I think it's going to be fireworks.
I do, too.
And if this thing could go a good distance, dude, I think you're going to get to see a lot of showcase talent.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Cruikshank has definitely the flashier attacks. Felder's a little bit bigger than him. I think he's got a little bit more of an orthodox style to his striking. So, I mean, it's really just going to come down to who's landing the big punches, I think, and who can really, who can set the pace.
Yeah, and I've been watching,
I mean, if Cruikshank comes out like he did against KJ Noons, I think Felder's going to have a lot of trouble.
Yeah, he's got to keep that confidence and keep that momentum going.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know Cruikshank, he's lost a few, so hopefully that hasn't shattered his confidence. Hopefully he goes out there and he just leaves it all on the line, because I think he can take this fight.
Yeah,
he definitely
I think so
can.
too.
Well, it's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be
it's
easy,
not an
but
easy fight.
if there's ever a time to just let it fly, now is that time. We've got he's been training. Yeah, obviously he trains at Michigan Top Team, and I don't know, has Felder, has he been at the Bad Motherfucker Ranch?
I have literally no idea.
Okay, he was training there with Cerrone and stuff like that for a while, and I didn't know if he was still going there for his camps and that kind of thing.
He may have, but I would assume, because I believe that's the camp that's held literally at Cerrone's ranch.
Yeah, it's
right?
on his property that he's like.
I would guess and say that those camps probably end when Cerrone fights.
Yeah,
I mean, that's maybe just that's definitely just a guess, and who knows, maybe they keep going on after that. But I always saw that being kind of just like Cerrone's thing, to have some people come over and train with him, basically. But who knows, maybe after a fight he's like, shit, I need to get back to training, and he got right back in there. But my guess would be probably finishes training off with whoever his normal team is.
Okay. Yeah, for people that don't know, there's a fighter, Donald Cowboy Cerrone,
Cowboy,
as they used to say on the old Tap Out show. Rest in peace, Mask. Anyways, he's this. He's a cowboy. He wears a cowboy hat. He lives on a ranch.
Fires guns, drinks beer before fights. This lives by his own fucking rules.
And for what he very openly tells everybody, does not save a dime of money. All of his winnings, he just spends. And he basically goes into the next fight completely broke. This is just what he says. So I don't know if any of that is true. Maybe he's just saying it just for the shock and everything of it. But what he has done is actually quite interesting. He's built this what he calls Bad Motherfucker Ranch on his property, and I watched the whole special on it. And it's got like dorm rooms. It's got a huge training center. Yep. And he builds it piece by piece at a time. And when people are there,
part
he
of it during
makes,
one of the
they
specials
help.
way back when.
Yeah, when people are there training, it's part of their duties. It's kind of like unspoken.
I saw when he built like the gym. I didn't know about the other parts though.
Yeah, but all those people that are there help them and they throw in. Obviously, you're staying there for free. Yeah, you can throw in.
Oh
help
yeah, you got
out,
free time.
Put a couple fucking walls up.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing 2 a days, what is that? Maybe 6 hours in a day, 8 hours tops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I mean, you have free time.
Yeah, you got plenty of time to do this, and I don't think he's charging anybody to be there. I think they can all just stay there for free. And they all have bathrooms. It was kind of cool. Cerrone's one of those people, love him or hate him.
I don't know how anyone can't love him. He is the fucking best.
And he's one of the nicest people. He's always doing things for people he doesn't have to do, obviously. And definitely someone who's trying to grow the sport.
Yeah. Super exciting fighter as well.
Yes. He fought a local Miles Jury not too long ago.
Can you believe what happened to him, though? Getting fined like that?
Yeah, that's a little fucked up.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. I understand why they did it. They got their, the uniform policy or whatever.
Okay, but tell people why. If they may not know why he got fined.
It was a violation of the uniform policy. A gross repeated violations that was believed to be intentional.
But what he did was he put an American flag on his Reebok shorts.
Yeah. He took part of his, I think part of his previous fight shorts that he's had on there, and he sewed them into the Reebok shorts, which you're not allowed to do.
No, you're not.
Which I don't think is that big of a thing.
It's the American flag.
But at the same time, though,
I could see if you put muscle milk on there, I'd say you got yourselves a point. But it's the American flag.
It may be a dumb rule, but it's a rule, and he broke it. And apparently, he claims the fine was substantial.
Well, he also said that he would like that fine to be sent to the Military Veterans Fund.
Well, that would be a really cool idea.
Which I thought is a damn good idea.
UFC always likes doing things for the military. I mean, they've always been big supporters. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't shock me if they did that.
And I think if you're going to penalize somebody for an American flag, the least you can do, it's not like okay, guys, you weren't counting on profit. You're not fining Donald Cerrone for profit reasons.
Yeah.
It's like, I think we take that money. I think we do what Cowboy says. I think we make
it
that
was clearly
donation.
punitive. They're making a point. He got fined. Nate Diaz got fined. I think 2 other people got fined. I don't know who the other 2 are, though.
Well, I'm just not sure how it, and I'm not there, but how does that, don't you think that's something that would be handled before you even got out? You'd have someone look at you and they'd say, you gotta put on different shorts, man. Like, you can't wear those out there.
Well, if those are your only fight shorts you have on you, then who knows? And I don't think they got
but
people checking that
Reebok sponsor. You'd think
here's the
they
thing,
have
though.
a bunch.
The people that check them coming out are from the State Athletic Commission. They have nothing to do with Reebok. They have nothing to do with the UFC.
Well,
so
not
they're
those
checking
people.
them for that,
Right.
And as far as
I
the
just
other
meant
things
someone
go,
from the UFC. You'd think they would say,
well,
you probably,
do you really want to do
change.
that for every single person that fights, for every single card?
Well,
People should just be able to. I mean, it's a dumb rule, but it's also a very simple rule. I mean, it's not hard to follow. For the most
apparently.
part.
Apparently,
For a few people,
it is.
Actually, I know there is actually more to it than that. Like, you can't wear any other sponsorship stuff within 3 days of a fight or a week.
I want to say it's a week. It could be.
Yeah.
Maybe it is only 3 days.
Oh, no,
but
no,
it
no,
could
no.
be
I
a
was pulling
week.
the numbers out of my ass. It could have been a fucking month for all, goddamn. I don't got a memory for, things. Words.
But yeah, we've got. I agree that it is a very simple thing. But I also know that in any type of corporate structure, you show up. There's a uniform. It was something as easy as that. It's anyone that works for the organization that brings you out there. Like I said, they used to have that guy who would always used to hype everybody up, and I don't know if he still does it.
Yeah.
He's always the guy who's like, "Come on, baby, let's go. You're the man, baby, let's go." I don't know. He does that all the time. I don't know what the fuck his name is, but
He's a hype man.
He's a hype man, but he also does he also gets him ready for the fighters meeting and everything that they have.
Actually, I think the guy that did that, didn't he get fired a few years back? I assume someone else does the job now, but I think the guy that did that at the time did get fired a while back, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
he
wasn't
was like
it-
a site coordinator or some crap
That's
like
what
that.
it was, and yes, he did get fired. But you're right. I think someone did come in and replace
Well,
him.
I assume someone had to have replaced him. I don't think they just got rid of the job when they fired him.
Yeah, didn't it have some issue to do with he left because some guy, I want to say it was Mark Munoz or somebody, was supposed to get on a bus and he didn't get him on the bus, and it was like a whole cluster.
I don't fucking remember. It was one of those things that I half remember at best. Because it wasn't an important story to me. I didn't know who that guy was until he got fired.
Mike, it was your cousin.
I fucking hate my
And he
cousin.
kept tweeting you about it over and over and over and over and over again.
Hey, I don't respond to tweets from him.
Who else is on this card? That's
Okay, Matt Mitrione is taking on... God, who the fuck's Matt Mitrione fighting again? Is it Travis Brown? Is he fighting? No, wait.
No, I don't think it's Travis Brown. I'm thinking about the Dillashaw fight, though. That's what I really
Oh
have
my
in my
God,
mind
Dillashaw
right now.
Cruz. I am such a big Cruz fan, and at the same time, Dillashaw's been so fucking impressive. I'm not gonna lie. I am I don't. I felt more hype for the McGregor Aldo fight, but I always thought this fight was going to be a better fight than that. Which obviously it pretty much has to be. The fight lasted 13 freaking seconds.
True.
But I think this fight is going to be it's going to be the shit. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, it should be a good one.
Oh, it is Travis Brown.
Yeah.
Right, Matt Mitrione versus Travis Brown.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Oh, and the co-main event, Eddie Alvarez taking on Anthony Pettis. I completely
that's an
forgot about that
interesting
fight,
one.
despite how fucking amazing that fight's going to be. I don't know how the hell I forgot about that.
I'm going to give that one to Pettis.
I think so, too. Eddie Alvarez, I'm a big fan of him. Very exciting, very well-rounded. I think Pettis just, I think the only way Pettis loses is Alvarez is able to out-wrestle him and hold him down.
Yeah.
Essentially, how the same way Pettis lost the title.
Right.
No, actually, I think about that. He also outstruck him. Never mind. But he did out-wrestle him quite a bit, too. But when he had the chance to strike, I think all the wrestling really made Pettis freeze up on his feet.
Yeah.
But Matt Mitrione versus Travis Brown, I'm super excited for.
Who
I
you
think
got?
Travis Brown's probably going to win, but I want Mitrione, too. I'm actually, even when he was on the show, I've always been a big Matt Mitrione fan. Yeah, a lot of people didn't like him when he was on the show. They thought nothing of him when he got off it. I've always been a pretty big fan of his, so I'm looking forward to
I'm
this.
indifferent on him, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like,
Okay.
I don't know. He's one of those guys that never really stuck with me. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I got Brown on that one. I got Cruz, and then I got
Really, you taking Cruz?
Yeah, I'm taking Cruz.
I want Cruz to win so bad. I just don't think he will.
I just don't like Dillashaw.
I don't
anymore.
like Dillashaw either.
As that fight was spectacular.
It was,
but
one of the best fights I've ever fucking
one
seen
of the
in my
best
life.
fights ever.
And if you were there live, and actually, if I just count to it like me watching it live, it was the best fucking fight I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Tim could attest to this. It was so goddamn intense.
It was like
at that
a
place.
fucking Rocky movie.
You
And-
couldn't. It's nothing you guys could have seen. It was standing. We were directly behind Barao when he got that final pounding before he lost. Just his back there. You see him kind of curled up, and the lights are coming straight at him.
So it's like a silhouette.
Yeah,
You just see this
bright
silhouette.
And he's just getting hit. And every time he gets hit, you see all these, like the head just shoots up like a goddamn punch-out game with
And
all the sweat
the
and blood fly
droplets
off him.
flying,
And you can
and
see
boosh,
all of this
boosh,
with every punch. And people, like in our section, losing their fucking mind.
And there was no way to capture that on video.
No.
Had you had that, that would be the number one highlight video ever. Because it was straight. You couldn't choreograph a better sight of it. Like we were just in the right spot.
I wish someone did record it just so I could kind of relive it, but I'm also kind of glad no one did because it makes it feel that much more special knowing that
Yes.
there's only a handful of people that truly got to see that got to experience that exact moment.
Yeah, it's like an eclipse. Like you had to be seated in just the right spot with just the right lighting, and it was fucking fantastic. fantastic.
Yes, it was.
So we only have a few minutes left here. We've got about 5 minutes left, and I think we should use that 5 minutes to talk about how Tim Kennedy is so happy that Yoel Romero is tested positive for steroids.
No, may have tested positive. It has not been officially announced one way or the other.
Let's take a look at the guy. He's fucking on steroids. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Go
Probably, yes.
wherever you're at, go on your phone and Google Yoel Romero UFC and tell me that guy is not on steroids. He's on fucking steroids. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, he did fail an out of competition drug test, so we're gonna find out some more details on what that is. I also want to take this time to tell you to go like our Facebook page. We have not started doing anything on the Facebook page yet, but we're going to be adding things to it. And all our shows are basically going to be primarily broadcast on there, and everything's going to kind of be sent to that page. Right now, we're just doing it on our own Facebook page, yada, yada, yada. But all that's going to change in the, I don't want to say not too distant future, but in the
not
future.
too distant future.
In the not too distant future. We have a guest coming up next week. Take it away, Mike. Hit me with it. Who's our guest next week?
Joe Tysowich, the man, the myth, the legend, the toxicologist. Yes.
And the thing about Joe is, it was only now, I've known him many, many a year, that I knew how to pronounce his last name. Thank you very much, Mike.
Not a
That
problem.
is a very difficult last
I
name.
always jokingly just called him Joe Targaryen because I'm a giant nerd. All right.
Yeah, it's just a name that you look at it and you're like, oh,
Yeah, it's like it's 32 letters long. There's 4 vowels. They're all right next to each other for some reason. It's a very unusual name.
hit the people. What are we going to hear about with Joe? Give us a little background
All right.
about him.
Joe, giant nerd, really into computer stuff.
That's good.
All right. Fitness freak.
He used to be a trainer. He used to be a dietitian. There's a lot of
yeah. He and also you see the guy, you don't think much of him, but when he used to post up like the stuff when he does like P90X, he does the different exercise programs. He posts up videos and like pictures. That guy's fucking jacked.
yeah.
The guy knows what he's talking about because I mean he's got several degrees. He's very intelligent. He works as I believe he's still working as a toxicologist at NSF, I think.
Yeah, we're going to have a lot of interesting. We're just
And
now
also-
forming what we want to talk to him about.
And we're
on this
probably going to
show.
hear stories we've never heard from him, mostly because we never take the time to talk to him.
Yeah.
So they'll all pretty much be new.
Excellent.
Yes.
So that's next week. That's next
Yeah.
week, Wednesday. He will be live right here, probably around what time?
7 or
depending.
8.
7 or 8.
Whenever I get off work.
Look, guys, you're on our schedule, okay?
I went to work late. I was out drinking all night. Give me a break.
It was his birthday, and if you haven't
and
said
I had to
happy
do an
birthday,
evaluation. Late. It's like I had like a normal schedule. They're like, we're gonna heap an evaluation on top of that. I'm like, fuck.
shit
All right.
happens. So you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
sit tight. Don't worry about it. Stop being a whiny ass bitch and wait till Mike
Yes.
gets off of work so we can come back and do the podcast.
Yeah, and I had to drive through. It is so fucking awful out there right now.
Is it? Is
Oh
it
my God,
snowing and all
Yeah,
sorts
and
of
it
shit?
is not pleasant. It's not like just some light, fluffy snow. Actually, I thought it was going to be because it came with the car so easily. But, man, driving through it is just fucking awful. And it just keeps coming. They haven't sent out any trucks yet. So, I mean, on the expressway, it was just the worst. We're going to take Main Streets home because, honestly, I think the expressway is going to be fucking awful.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
What can you do?
That's the night. All right.
Do.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week.
Good night and good luck.
He's ending everyone with that now.
Yeah, I think it's probably copyright infringement of some sort at this
That's
point.
okay. Who gives
All
a
right.
fuck? Let him
Fuck
sue
you,
us.
Edward R. Murrow.
Let him see
bitch.
us sue us. We won't pay. We don't give a shit. We don't pay bills.
We got
Who
no
gives a
money.
fuck?
I mean, well, we do have some. Just don't tell anyone that. Not a lot, though. I mean, it's all right.